It was a fourth car bomb explosion in 4 nights, and Lima was reeling, living under this intense pressure and anxiety that was nonstop. It's 1989, and the country of Peru had just entered its 9th year of a very dirty war with a group of real, rough, despicable terrorists by the name of the Shining Path, Sendero Luminoso. I had come to the country 5 years previously in 1985 as a member of a religious order of teaching brothers to do social justice, human rights work in one of the shanty towns that had grown up on the outskirts of Lima. One of the first jobs I was given when I got there was to take care of the village youth group, and I loved that work. These kids who had seen so much violence were just so idealistic. And the one girl that to this day I think of every day was a girl by the name of Lucha. Lucha was 15 years old, had come from the province of Ayacucho, had seen both of her parents killed by terrorist violence, and fled to the capital city for a somewhat better life. One of the first exercises I gave that class was, why don't you tell each other where your first name came from? And Lucha was the first to go. And she said, well, my name Lucha is really short for Luisa or Luz. And my mother said that I was the Luz for her, which means light in English. She said, but I'd like to believe at the age of 15, now my name really is Lucha with that full meaning. And lucha in Spanish means the fight or the struggle, such as Viva la Lucha. And she embodied that perfectly. She was going to leave this world a better place than she found it. About the time of the car bombs, she asked me very sheepishly one day, Hermano, do you think it would be possible to come to my quinceañera, my sweet 16 party that my aunt is going to throw for me with my friends this Sunday afternoon? I would be honored. And I said, on the contrary, Lucha, I would be honored. I will definitely be there. She beamed. She lit up and gave me this big abrazo. And she said, you know, the one thing I love about being in your group, hermano, is that you always allow people to be who they are. There's never a pressure to put on an act. And I could say whatever is on my mind because I could be who I am. And I thanked her profusely, and my jaw dropped, and all I thought was, Richard, you are such a hypocrite. I was an extremely repressed gay man, and extremely in the closet, and extremely committed to never acting out on any of those urges as long as I had my vow of celibacy. I know the kookiness of that doesn't escape me now. With all of the sexual scandals and pedophilia in the Catholic Church, I'm just left wondering, what was I, the only one living my goddamn vow of celibacy? What was going on here? At any rate, to keep myself busier, i.e. more repressed, I had petitioned my superiors to take a graduate level course at the local Catholic university on liberation theology, and they agreed. So 3 nights a week, I would take the micro, the bus, to the university, and my gaydar must have been a little bit more developed than I thought at the time, because there was this one group of guys, the guys that never played football, the one group of guys that would always sit around kibitzing with each other, and I always tried to eavesdrop on what they were saying. And sure enough, one night I hear, yeah, there's this new club that opened up Avenida Benavides, and it's only for los entendidos. Entendidos. The country of Peru was even more repressed than me, and that was pretty hard. You couldn't even use the word gay or homosexual. You had to say los entendidos, which is translated as those in the know. Yeah, just go there, knock 2 times on the door, and when they open it, you say, yo soy entendido, and you're in. Let's meet there 11 o'clock on Saturday night. I was committed to vicariously living through them and sneaking out of the monastery to go to that gay disco that night. The Saturday night comes, I leave, I start the walk up to, it was a 4-mile walk, to that disco up Avenida Benavides, and about a mile away I hear boom, coche bomba. The street lights flickered, blackout. Immediately I hunkered down inside a garden shed in a public park. The rule of thumb at the time was if you're out on the street, the military has the right to shoot and kill if you are out during a blackout. I stayed down, hunkered there, hearing the sirens, the helicopters, the military police rushing by. I had no idea where this bomb had fallen. And I stayed there till the morning. When daybreak came, I went and snuck back into the monastery, cleaned myself up, and then headed out for the quinceanera of Lucha in Pamplona Alta. About halfway up that hill was when the ugly realization hit me that the bomb had gone off in Pamplona Alta. And the even uglier realization hit me with the news that I got later on that Lucha, her aunt, and 14 others were killed by that terrorist blast. And I cried. I wept. Because the ugly irony of the fact was I was now not going to attend her quinceanera. I was going to attend her velorio, her wake. It would be quite a few years before I left the monastery, came out of the closet, and lived as an openly gay man, and even entering into gay establishments. And that doesn't escape me now, too, because now that I can be free to be who I am and love who I am, even gay establishments can be met with bullets flying and people dying these days. But I will never, ever forget the words of that 15-year-old girl that stayed with me. Whenever there's the pressure to be who you're not, always answer it by going towards the light, luz, and towards the fight, lucha. Thank you.